Hello there! This is an astrological forecast for Cancer for 2011, and this also applies if you have a Cancer ascendant. So my Cancerians, with Saturn in your 4th house all year, this is going to mean for many of you, you're feeling insecure. A lot of insecurities going on. A lot of you feeling as though maybe you've had to move, you don't want to move, you maybe have to downsize, you've maybe got renovations you want to do. Many of you are not quite feeling happy with your environment, with where you are, with how you're feeling. For some of you, it may mean that you're having to take on more responsibilities as far as your family is concerned. Maybe somebody needs more of your help, your time, your energy, your money. Your family could be your children, could be your spouse, could be your extended family. Could even be people who are like friends but are like family, that you feel as though you've got responsibilities for. You're taking all this very seriously. It could be a time of a move. Very often with Saturn in the 4th house, I'm Cancer rising, so I've got Saturn in the 4th house as well, and I have made a big move. In this last year, I made a big move from one end of New Zealand to the other, and it's been quite a big adjustment to settle and to get used to a new environment, and feeling as though I haven't got so many friends around me yet, and it takes a while to build up. And many of you may be feeling sort of a jolt to your personal security. It's like you're having to trust, you're having to learn how to get back to basics, to not be too worried about everything, because of course the tendency for Cancerians is to get worried about things, and of course the minute you get worried and the feeling of desperation, you start to drive things away from you. So you somehow have to take a breath and step back a little and just trust, to really have your faith in the higher forces that are really there looking out for you. And we've got Pluto, of course, your relationships. Pluto in the 7th house. Relationships are going to be a big focus for you this year coming 2011, Cancerians. Big focus. For some of you, it's going to mean some endings. It's going to mean a total re-evaluation of how you are in a relationship. How are you reacting? Are you with manipulative people? People who are trying to get you to do things that you don't really want to do? Are you being too giving in a relationship? Is there a relationship in your life that really needs to end now? Or does the form of it need to change? Maybe you're in a friendship that maybe will become an intimate relationship. Maybe you're in an intimate relationship that needs to become a friendship. Does something drastically will be changing in the way you view your relationships? Many of you may find that you're alone for a while. You may find that you need that space. You may not particularly like it necessarily, but you need to be alone in order to reevaluate now how you're going to go about relationships in the future, because relationships and how you see them are going through a huge transformation. So you may find that people come in and out of your life. You may find that there's a real heart-wrenching relationship, a relationship that really goes to your soul level. You feel like you've been turned inside out with this relationship, and you're not sure where to go. And you may have to go to psychotherapy, get some help with it if necessary, because Pluto can often mean an obsessive relationship where you can't get this person out of your head, where the thoughts just keep going there and back to this person again and again. So these are all issues that can come up with this Pluto transit through your 7th house, but certainly some awakenings. And as you come through it, eventually, it's a long, long transit, you may feel as though you're being reborn. You'll feel as though if you come through it, you've learned the lessons of what the Pluto is trying to tell you in this house, and you've learned how not to have people who are abusive and maybe violent towards you, and you've learned how to be assertive and how to stick up for yourself and how to be really strong in your relationships. Then you will feel as though you've been reborn, and you will draw a completely different type of person into your life, somebody who'll be much more nourishing and building for you. We've got Neptune in your 8th house for much of the year, so this is going to mean possibly some financial issues. Issues where you'll feel as though money is coming in but it's disappearing just as quickly. It's also possible for those of you in a relationship, you may find your mate has issues with money. You may find you're having to look after them financially, take care of somebody else financially often with a Neptune transit through this 8th house. This would not be a good time to get into a business partnership in any way. Also be a good time to take care that any assets you have are really protected properly. Maybe you've invented something. Make sure that you've patented it properly. Maybe you're in a joint venture with someone. Make sure you've got all the legal stuff tied up properly and that you know what you're covered for and what you're not covered for. These are really important things during this Neptune transit of your 8th house, finance, joint finances that need to be taken care of. We've got a lot of planets in your 9th house this year, Cancerians, and that's going to mean for many of you the possibility of some travel. Travel for work, travel for pleasure, travel to different cultures, international business, doing things more internationally, involving yourself more on a global level with whatever it is that you do, but certainly stretching out, reaching up, going outside of that comfort of home, because Cancerians, we know you love home and comforts, but stretching beyond that, being open to new people and new things and new ideas coming in. You may find yourself teaching others, or you may find yourself a student of somebody who has a great deal of wisdom. You may find yourself reading a lot more books, or even writing and publishing, because this is the house of publishing. So if you're wanting to publish your own book, self-publish, this will be a great year to do it, particularly for the first 6 months of the year while Jupiter is in this house for you. So we've got Jupiter-Uranus in the 10th house. After March, particularly, this is when this hots up with the Uranus in your 10th house. So this could see some turbulence for you in your career path. Some of you may find that you suddenly lose your job, or that you suddenly find a different job, or that you move into a completely different field. Be ready to maybe train or retrain into a completely different area, because you might need new skills. Be ready for work to be erratic, because Uranus there does indicate that things come and go. It's not just plain sailing, and I know Cancerians, you like to know and have it more predictable. It's not going to be predictable this year. So try to go with it, and with that Uranus-Jupiter energy, there may well be some good opportunities that come in as well. You're just going to have to be quick off the mark. Don't be procrastinating too much. If something sounds good, research it, go into it a little bit more, look at it into a little bit more detail. After June, got Jupiter coming into your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes and friends. This should bring more friends into your life. It would also be a very good time to do anything humanitarian, anything where you're working with your community, anything where you can make a contribution and volunteer. Could be with a food bank, could be in the community in some way. Just in some way where you feel you're making a contribution, because it will come back to you tenfold in the way you feel about yourself and the confidence issues that I'm seeing that may well be triggered for you this year, Cancerians. But certainly it will be a great time to join a new group, really good time to meet somebody new as well. After the middle of the year, between July and the middle of September, we've got Venus and Mars in your sign, Cancerians. This will be also a good opportunity for those of you looking for love, looking to meet somebody new. This will be a very opportune time for that to happen for you. But certainly it's a time to open up a little more and to socialise best you can, particularly towards the latter half of 2011. So there you have it, my Cancerians. So certainly a big focus on your relationships, your home, your security, your finances and your life direction and your friends. Just about everything really coming up for you this year, 2011, Cancerians. Don't be afraid of it. Walk into it and face it rather than avoiding things and pushing them under the carpet, which you do sometimes. You might like to have a reading to know what 2011 has in store for you, or maybe treat somebody to a reading about 2011, or maybe just ask a question for $25 and I'll answer in an email of up to 150 words. Whatever it is, I'd be delighted to hear from you. Bye for now.